Your sister's dying performance is getting old, my mother announced as I collapsed in the restaurant bathroom, blood pooling beneath me. The kidney disease they'd denied for 7 years was finally visible, undeniable, staining the white marble floor. But would they finally believe me when their golden child, my father, needed the very organs they insisted weren't really sick? My name is Naomi Torres, and this is how I saved the man who never saved me. The first time I fainted was at my brother Diego's graduation party. 21 years old, working 2 jobs to pay for community college while my parents funded his medical school. The room spun, my legs buckled, and I hit the kitchen floor hard enough to crack a tooth. "Get up, Naomi," my mother Carmen hissed, embarrassed by the attention. "You're ruining Diego's moment." I couldn't get up. The pain in my back felt like someone was stabbing me with hot knives. My father, Roberto, grabbed my arm, hauling me to my feet. "She's fine," he told the worried guests. "Just wants attention because it's not about her today." The emergency room doctor found protein in my urine, elevated creatinine levels, blood where there shouldn't be blood. "You need to see a nephrologist immediately," she said. "This could be serious kidney disease." But the nephrologist cost $400 for a consultation. My parents refused. "You're 21 and healthy," my father said. "Stop being a hypochondriac. Diego's the doctor in the family. He says you're fine." Diego, still in his 2nd year of medical school, had diagnosed me with attention-seeking behavior, without running a single test. For 3 years, I saved every penny. Skipped meals to afford blood tests. Worked overtime while my body screamed in protest. Finally saw a specialist who confirmed what I'd feared: IgA nephropathy. My kidneys were failing slowly but steadily. "You need monitoring medication, possibly dialysis eventually," Dr. Patel explained gently. "Do you have family support?" I laughed until I cried. The medications cost $300 monthly. I chose between rent and pills, usually choosing rent. My family, meanwhile, vacationed in Cabo, renovated their kitchen, bought Diego a new BMW for finishing residency. "Naomi's always sick," became the family joke. At Thanksgiving, they'd mime fainting. At Christmas, my aunt would ask, "What's wrong with you this week?" while others laughed. I stopped going to family events. "So dramatic," my mother would tell relatives. "Won't even come to dinner because we won't coddle her fake illness." By year 5, the disease progressed to stage 3. I needed dialysis 3 times a week. For hours hooked to a machine that did what my kidneys couldn't. I scheduled sessions at 5 a.m. so I could still work after. Couldn't afford not to. One morning, exhausted and nauseated from treatment, I made a mistake. I answered my mother's call. "Your cousin Linda saw you at some medical building," she accused. "What lie are you spreading now?" "I'm on dialysis, Mom. My kidneys are at 15% function." Silence. Then, "Diego says real kidney disease has symptoms. You look fine." I hung up and threw up blood in my work bathroom an hour later. The call that changed everything came on a Tuesday. My mother, hysterical. "Your father collapsed. He's in the ICU. Both kidneys failing. They don't know why." I felt nothing. No rush of concern, no familiar pull of family obligation. Just nothing. "The doctors say he needs a transplant," she continued. "We're all getting tested. You need to come." "No." "What do you mean, no?" "He's your father. The father who said I was faking? Who refused to help with medical bills while buying Diego a car. That father." "Naomi, this is different. He's actually sick. So am I. Have been for 7 years." I hung up. The calls didn't stop. Diego, my aunts, uncles, cousins, all suddenly interested in my life. All with the same message. Family helps family. Where was that philosophy when I was vomiting from uremia? When I couldn't afford both food and medication? When I begged for just $100 to cover a copay? Then Diego arrived at my apartment. First time in 3 years. "You're being selfish," he announced, pushing past me. His eyes landed on my dialysis supplies, the medication bottles, the medical equipment that dominated my tiny studio. What is all this?" "My fake illness," I said flatly. He picked up a prescription bottle, doctor's notes, lab results I kept in a binder. His face went pale as he read. "Stage 4 kidney disease? You're on dialysis. 3 times a week for 2 years. But according to you, I'm just attention-seeking." I didn't. "Mom and Dad said you were exaggerating. You're a doctor, Diego. You never once asked to see my medical records. Never ran a single test. Just diagnosed me as dramatic and moved on." He sank onto my couch, The one I'd bought at Goodwill because everything went to medical bills. Will you get tested? He asked quietly. For Dad. I laughed, harsh bitter. I did get tested. Years ago, when I was first diagnosed. In case I ever needed a kidney. I'm type O negative. Universal donor. Perfect match for anyone. His head snapped up. You could save him. I could. Will you? Give me one reason why I should. He had nothing. The test results came back 2 days later. My mother, incompatible. Diego, incompatible. Every relative who'd mocked my illness, incompatible. Only me. The damaged one. The dramatic one. The fake sick one. My father had days, maybe a week without dialysis or a transplant. The hospital called me directly. Diego had given them my number. Miss Torres, you're listed as a potential donor match. I know. Would you consider? I'll be there tomorrow. I didn't go to save him. I went to make them see. The hospital room smelled like antiseptic and fear. My father, gray and swollen, hooked to machines I recognized too well. My mother clutching his hand. Diego pacing. They all turned when I entered. I set down a box on the bedside table. 3 years of medical records. Every test, every treatment, every bill I couldn't pay. Every photo of bruises from blown veins, of blood in places blood shouldn't be, of the weight loss they called attention-seeking. Before we discuss anything, I said, you're going to look through these. Every page. Naomi, there's no time. My mother started. Then you'd better read fast. They read. I watched my mother's face crumble as she saw the first diagnosis from 4 years ago. Watched Diego's hands shake as he read treatment notes describing symptoms he'd dismissed. Watched my father, even through the medication fog, understand what they'd done. You were really sick, my mother whispered. AM. Present tense. My kidneys are at 8% function now. 8%. Diego's voice cracked. But, you're working, you're standing. Because I have no choice. No family to help. No savings because it all goes to treatment. No support system because you all decided I was lying. My father tried to speak, but I raised my hand. For 7 years, you called me dramatic. Lazy. Weak. Attention-seeking. You laughed at my pain. Made jokes about my fainting. Told everyone I was the family embarrassment. Tears ran down my mother's face. We didn't know. Because you didn't want to know. It was easier to have one sick child than 2. Easier to believe I was lying than admit you'd failed me. Please, my father wheezed. Please, Mija. Mija. Daughter. First time he'd called me that in years. I pulled out the consent forms. Already filled out. I'm giving you my kidney, I said. They gasped in relief, but I continued. Not because you deserve it. Not because I forgive you. But because I'm not you. I don't let family die when I can help. Thank you, my mother sobbed. Thank you, we'll make this right. No. You won't. After the surgery, we're done. All of us. You get my kidney and lose your daughter. Naomi, no. Those are my terms. Take the kidney and never contact me again. Or refuse it and watch him die. Your choice. They chose the kidney. Of course they did. The surgery was scheduled for the following Monday. I signed every form, did every test. The transplant team was concerned. Donating with only 8% function in my remaining kidney was risky. I'll need dialysis forever, I told them. But I already do. Your family understands the sacrifice? They're learning. Surgery day. They wheeled us to adjacent operating rooms. My father grabbed my hand as we passed. I'm sorry, he whispered. Sorry doesn't give me back 7 years. Sorry doesn't undo the damage, physical or emotional. What can we do? Honor our agreement. Disappear. They took my kidney, my healthier one, the one keeping me off permanent disability. Gave it to the man who denied my illness while his organs failed from the same genetic condition he'd passed to me. The bitter irony? His recovery was swift. New kidney working perfectly. My recovery was hell. Complications, infections, my remaining kidney struggling. Diego visited once against my wishes. You saved him, he said. I condemned myself, I replied. Daily dialysis now. Maybe forever. Will help. No. You had 7 years to help. You chose not to believe me instead. He left an envelope. $50,000. From all of us. For medical bills. I donated it to the Kidney Disease Foundation in my name, not theirs. 6 months later, I saw them at a coffee shop. My father, healthy, vibrant, living with my kidney. They saw me too thin, exhausted from that morning's dialysis. the visible fistula in my arm where the needles go in. My mother moved toward me. I walked away. My phone rang later. Unknown number. I answered. Thank you, my father's voice. For saving me when we didn't save you. Still think I was faking? Silence. I hung up. Blocked the number. Continued my life without the family who'd never believed I was sick until they needed what my sickness could provide. The ultimate proof of my illness? It's keeping my father alive while slowly killing me. But at least now, they can never say I was faking.